We are ready to start our banquet. We thank you so much for coming out on your lunch hour to help us celebrate disabilities awareness. And we really appreciate your time for coming. At this time, we're going to have the welcome by our mayor, Chuck Allen, following Colonel Brian Armstrong.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. This microphone doesn't work, by the way. All right, good afternoon, everyone. I hope everyone's doing well today. Glad to be here with you to bring greetings on behalf of the city council. We have a couple council members here. I saw Council Member Foster has come in at this table. And, of course, our speaker today, Council Member Mr. Mark. We're very, very glad to have him and hear him. We have our city manager, Scott Stevens, our assistant city manager, Randy, our police chief, Chief West, Sherry, who's the director of our Paramount and this event center. I see our Parks and Rec. A lot of city people here, so that tells you how important this is to the city. I want to thank our sponsors. I see several sponsors on here. And probably as a community, as a state, maybe as a country, we probably don't do enough for disabilities. And we don't really know it till it hits us, as we should. So maybe that's good that we have these events, that we can get better educated, those that don't live with it every day like a lot of you do. So for you caretakers, I really appreciate what you do, because I know it takes a special person to do that. And I appreciate, on behalf of the city and our city council, what everybody does to make it better for this community. And we very much appreciate it, and we look forward to having the program today. So thank you.
Good afternoon. Goldsboro City Councilman Mark Stevens was born in North Carolina and attended Meadow Lane, Greenwood, Eastern Wayne, and Southern Wayne high schools. He attended the Art Institute of Atlanta and the Art Institute of California, graduating with a Bachelor's of Arts degree in Media Arts and Animation. He taught at Star Education, a performing arts school in Culver City, California, and then began working for Arlene Klasky, president of Klasky Soup Co., executive producers of the Rugrats, the Wild Thornberrys, and other notable Nickelodeon network shows. Later, he worked with Riot Games, Calvin Media Group, and Bravo TV. He has also worked with Fayetteville Tech developing social simulation engineering. In 2009, he began to notice eye problems and learned that his diabetes was seriously damaging his sight. He subsequently underwent kidney and pancreas transplants. In 2015, he successfully ran for the Goldsboro City Council and has been advocating for persons with disabilities and for all of Goldsboro citizens ever since. He works diligently with the Downtown Goldsboro Development Corporation and has been instrumental in bringing the Carolina Games Summit to Goldsboro February 4th, 5th of 2017. It is my pleasure to present to you my friend, Councilman Mark Stevens.
Good afternoon. I hope everyone had a wonderful lunch today. I wanted to try to speak on four topics that are near and dear to my heart, and what are making our lives transform in the city of Goldsboro. And it goes back to our theme for this actual luncheon is making the future so bright you have to wear shades. And wherever you guys see me put my shades on, I'm going to be about finished. But anyway, so I'm just going to make that little quick short anthem. But this is my shades, so these are prescriptions. The ones you guys got, hope you guys can see them and have fun with them. But to start off, tell you one quick little story. About a week or so ago, I was at a council meeting, and we were talking with the city council, and then right before the city council meeting, there was a constituent who was there. It was very upset and just desperately, direly in need of what was going on, and she had a walker and seemed to be having some disabilities. And I told her, and she told me where she lived, and she lived in the Waynesboro Tower. And I was like, well, I'm going to come down there and see what you're talking about. So next day, I guess it was around about Tuesday or so in the afternoon, went down there at 3 o'clock and sat on the outside, benches with her to see what she was talking about. And she was telling me that the crosswalks for downtown were fine and it was wonderful, but they seemed to kind of like speed through downtown area, and anyone that was a pedestrian could, you know, possibly get hit. And if you had a disability, whether you be in a walker or a wheelchair or so forth, that they could possibly get hit in the way this was happening. And I was like, I've never seen that, but I'm gonna make sure what you're telling me is 100% true. So like I said, we went down there and we sat and we talked for about an hour, and for about 15, 20 minutes, I didn't see anything. And then right before I started to leave, I saw a couple cars come flying through the center street, and they got to the little crosswalk and kind of eased through, but then when they got to the edge, they flew through the next one and whipped around and went down Walnut. And I was like, okay, that's something that we need to start addressing. So I called city manager, and city manager and I had a discussion, and we started talking about, you know, crosswalk signs and things of that nature. And it's been on the table for about some months now with the mayor's committee about trying to get crosswalk signs up. And I know we had started working with North Carolina Department of Transportation to try to get a crosswalk sign on John and Walnut near the Art Council. So I think now that before I leave office, is something that we're going to try to keep pushing for and to get it throughout most of all downtown and hopefully throughout the city and our specific business areas, is to get crosswalks for our people with disability and audible crosswalks, because I'm also a person with disability, visual disability. And it's like, I am a person like this. It doesn't matter whether you have a mental, physical, or visual disability. I want everyone to be able to feel safe. So that's one of my staple points before I leave office. Another little quick story. I had another gentleman talk to me. He's visually impaired as myself, and he's very boisterous with the Blind Society. And he always comes to Miss Mary Jones and says, I need to speak with my council member. I need to speak with him. And I'm like, well, I'll come over and speak with him. And he tells me that, you know, I know how to fix these problems with these gangs and these young ones not getting jobs and stuff. I mean, we got to find a way to get industries here. And I'm like, that's a problem that we face and we talk about at the council all the time. Because I'm telling you, let's talk about it. And so I went over and talked with him. And so we had a long talk, and he was telling me about different industries that he would like to see here. And I was like, I think some of those industries are here. But as Miss Rose nicely put out for me, I am from the digital world and tech industry. We started talking about what ways could we get other industries to come here. So I called some business partners of mine, and we started talking together, and I called some other fellow colleagues that I have out west in California and said, hey, since I'm out here, come out here, and you know how hard I work, come out here and visit us in Eastern North Carolina. And they was like, okay, well, let's see. So we all got together, and they was like, who else is that you know in North Carolina can drive this? And I was like, right now the only person I know is Mr. Michael Everett, and I don't know where he is. And they were like, well, we'll find him for you. So I got a phone call from Mr. Michael Everett, and Mr. Everett called me, and we had a long conversation, and so we came together, and we started to put together the Carolina Game Summit, which was at Wayne Community College at one time, and he was like, I want it to be where it's open for everyone, not just one class or one group. I want everyone to be involved. And I was like, well, if you want it to be that way, then we want to bring those jobs here and open the doors for everyone. Then I want to try to find Mr. Elon Musk. And Mr. Elon Musk is the creator and owner of Tesla Motors, Inc. Him and Mr. J.B. Strobel. And that is subsequently one of the only American-made car companies since 1956. When Ford Company their IPO became available for everybody to come this way, and we're going to try to bring those companies here come February 4th and 5th. So not only are we going to look and bring and make things safer, but also, with friends of mine in the industry, we're going to try to bring new jobs for everyone, no matter what your disability is or what your class is, to make it open for everyone. And that is another way that we're going to try to make our future so bright that we have to wear shades. Lastly, before I finish up with my fourth point, and I'd like to finish it off because I want to finish off with everybody together, but I saw with Miss Patricia Yates, and she was at one of our meetings, and she was speaking about a young family, her and Miss Ham, she was saying this one young woman had a child that was being kind of not recognized for having disabilities in school, and I was like, that's not right. And I know we're advocates for that and trying to find out, but she needed lawyers because the school wasn't treating them right, and it just wasn't going the way it should be. I guess it was going towards, I guess, down towards Brogdon area. And I was like, what can we do? So Miss Yates did her due diligence and searched the internet, and then came back to the meeting the next month and had booklets about organization within the state that is state-ran, that are the disability rights advocates and lawyers. So if you ever have a situation where you are feeling like you're being persecuted or not treated fairly and your rights are not there, we have information, I do believe, for all the advocate rights and lawyers for the state of North Carolina, and there are www.disabilityrights.org, and we have the numbers and all that information to give to you. So we're going to try to help you if you ever feel that you're not being, quote unquote, as treated like they say, quote unquote, normally, that we want you to all feel welcome and everyone is equal. So that is another way that, like I said, our future is going to feel so bright that you're going to wear shade. I want to say an ending before, because I know we got a short amount of time, but one of the things that before my eyes were like the way they were, became the way they were, I always loved music and I always loved film. And I always try to find ways to quicken myself and making myself stronger at what I did. And I think it was about, I'll say 2015, when I was running for office, there was an artist called Hosier. And I heard his song, and he's the same gentleman who said, "Take Me to Church," sing that. And I loved it, his song, and so I went and picked up his album and listened to his whole album. But he had a song up there called "The Alchemist's Lullaby." And in that song, he sings in the chorus, you know, talking about your fire within you. He says, always let your fire burn you within you. Always try to reach the things that you, within yourself, reach the things that you need to reach. Never tame your demons. Always keep them on a leash. And in with that, you know, he was saying to myself, and I hope if you get a chance to go listen to it, is that no matter what is going on within inside of you, always find that inner driving spark to push yourself forward. Reach out, grab someone next to you. If you know that there's your friend, pull them together with you and go forward and have that same spark to go forward and pull everyone, and we work together because we're only going to get there together. So I will say, if we can't do this together and reach out and touch each other on the hand and go forward, then we'll never reach our goal, and that is to make our future so bright that we have to wear shades. And I have to run, but I hope you all have a wonderful lunch and a wonderful day, and you have a good day. Take care.